YouTubes, welcome back Chooms. Nate the Choom here. Alright, so I just finished up what I call a scatter day, where I spend a Saturday where I have some time to do some crafting, making some scatter terrain and different cool stuff to throw on the table. So some of the stuff I made, like objective marker style, is like this right here, kind of sci-fi looking container. Got that nice texturing on it, nice grime and goodness. And so that'll be good. It also kind of looks like a trash can, so that one's like multi-purpose for that. And then went through, made a bunch of barrels, and these are real easy, quick to whip up. Made, a grip of them. And so, with these, got some like silver metallics on there, some like copper for like rust effects, just goodness. And then I went through and made a bunch of crates as well. So, like fill up a warehouse, fill up outside. This could be like all sorts of different boxes. You can see this one I have textured on the top and on the sides, but this one I kind of left just blank. Because I figure, I'm probably going to be stacking these anyway in an actual game. So yeah, real quick and easy. Probably going to be a real quick video here. But yeah, let's go ahead and see how I did it. Alright, first up is the crates. Just make the foam go choppy choppy. Glue those together to make a stack. And then I went through and started cutting out on the chipboard to see, the sides of the actual box. And so the chipboard pieces are the pieces you want to texture. You don't even want to worry about the foam core. So yep, get a sharp knife and choppy the chipboard. I like doing that method where I kind of roll the block around, and that way you're able to get the exact sides. But yeah, black Mod Podge and start slapping on colors. I'll show you guys in more detail how I painted these later on. But yeah, next up to the barrels. Measured out how tall I wanted them to be by putting them next to a miniature. Yeah, choppy. Clean it up, make sure they're nice and square. And then I would use my finger as like the gauge to see how tightly I want to roll them. And then once you figure out how long it needs to be, you got one. It's fitting up good. Flatten it out and use that as a guide for the next couple ones. Pretty straightforward. So these right there is the first line I do. You just stick them together, slap a line of hot glue on the inside of the seam where they touch. And then after a couple seconds, I'll take it and wipe my finger across just to make a good seal. Here I'm chopping out some thin pieces to use for the side. The little banding on the side of a barrel. More hot glue. I'll wrap it around. I like to use hot glue with this because you get a little more working time. You can get the bands a little straighter. It's a little messy, but I just figure the little hot glue that's sticking out at the end, that's much more like, the welds and all that stuff. Alright, with the barrels, same kind of paint up. I hit each one of these with a different color. I was just going with these three colors, kind of like old evergreen Christmas green, bright red, and then like a turquoise. And I figured, once you get like the washes on there, get some dirty effects and stuff, these look real nice. But yeah, real quick, easy paint job here. I wasn't trying to get it solid coverage. I didn't really care if it had solid coverage or if the black was peeking through. Alright, and on to the containers. Here you see I made some another rolls, added some strips to the side of those. And then for this, I just took some plastic bottle caps, chopped off the sides, because the center had this perfect fitting like little cap. And so once I cleaned these up, these look like a perfect size lid for the top of these. It's awesome. So right here I'm cutting out a base, because I wanted these to also be able to be used as like objectives. And so I wanted to give these things an actual basing, as opposed to the crates and stuff, which I just left, like you can just put it on the floor. Because I figured those would be going inside, and if you have those raised up on the inside, it's super weird looking. But yeah, with these, I stuffed a penny in there, and then I just dumped in hot glue. Hold them in place, make sure they're solid. And once you get it capped, I just put drops of super glue on the inside just to reinforce it. And then taking some baking soda, you just instant activate that super glue and you get great bonds. A little more detailing with some more of those thin slices of the chipboard. And then on to painting. So here I'll go into more detail on how I actually painted through these. You can see I'm doing like a quick coat here, quick base coat. And I'm trying to overwork it. I'm trying to keep it so that some of that black is still shining through. I don't want these to look like new barrels, so it really doesn't matter that much. Next I take a little silver, take the edge of a fine tip brush, and I just start edge highlighting it on all like the top parts and the parts that would naturally get worn. from people just like using this, you know. This is a well-worn barrel, and so I'm trying to go for that effect with having some of this metallic streaking coming through. And I empty it out and I just start dry brushing it on, you know, just really trying to get it into these details, get some of the raised bits, some of the bits where the barrel isn't perfectly circle, not perfectly round. You know, it's pretty straightforward. That's the secret right there to the paint job, is hit it with a hairdryer. You just blow dry that thing real quick and you're already set for the next layer. So now we're going into the black wash. And just go ahead and putting it in real thin. I'm trying to get it on the top parts of the banding, you know, into the spots where like some grease and some grime would naturally accumulate. Like that's the whole goal I'm going for here, is make it look good, make it have like that depth to it. Give it those accents, give it that extra pop. And you can see I'll tap it on and then I'll wipe it off just to kind of mix that black in. It helps dull down that silver highlight too, because that metallic that I use is super shiny. But yep, and then I just go back through, you know, pick out spots that I want to bring that red back out and more, relighten it up. I do some on the banding just to kind of clean up that silver edge highlight. And the red I'm using, you can see in the palette, it's super thin. So, you know, I'm just really trying to just give slight pop to this. You know, I got to go through a couple times because it's so thin. I just want to make sure that I get that coverage. I'm able to get that color to still have that pop in some places. Because after the wash and after some of the metallics and stuff, everything getting wiped around, it gets a little dull. And so you start to lose some of those colors in there. So it's good to bring those back out, get that contrast back up. All right, go in for a dry brushing with some copper. Just starting to pick out some areas that I think would be great. And then I mix that copper right on the brush with some of that orange I just popped up. It helps give the copper, the rust, some extra tone. And it helps give it, like, you know, different tonalities to the rust. You know, it's kind of hard to see with the camera I have here, but you know, it really brings out that dimension and depth. Once again, blow dry to win. You can see right there, the black in the sections popping. You can see the copper popping. Alright guys, that's how easy it is to craft up some of this stuff. You know, you just grab some cereal box, get cutting, and next thing you know, you got some stuff to fill up a table. You know, these don't take a lot of paint, they're real easy to make, and they look great on the tabletop, so, you know, might as well spend a little scatter day whipping them up. Alright guys, if you dig this, let me know. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.